Okay, Dolphins, Cardinals. Man, this is a very exciting game. Only 3 games left on this card. This has been fun breaking these games down. I like this card a lot. We'll see, a week from now if I'm sitting here. But I really think I'm going to take advantage of what happened last week. Dolphins, Cardinals, 4-3 for the Dolphins. Cardinals, 5-2. Tagovailoa, first NFL start. I mean, Bebs, this game was absolutely nuts. I mean, it made no sense. And I was so thankful that I didn't take the Rams because of the short week. And Birdie kept talking about what a bad spot it was for the Rams. That was the only reason why I didn't take the Rams. Dolphins win 28.
The Rams' travel schedule has been almost unfair.
They've had a tough one.
They're over 20,000 miles, and it's week 8.
Wow. I didn't know that. Tagovailoa, first NFL start, 28-17 win at home over the Rams. The first time he tried to throw the ball, it was as if all I could think about was you, Bebsy. Aaron Donald hits him. He gets driven into the turf. He loses the football. Just as you had said, you had said that was going to happen. They were outgained by 326 yards. That's the largest discrepancy of any winning team in 18 years. It was a very difficult game to handicap the next game from. Miami, 4 takeaways in the first half. They lead 28-10 at the half. They don't score a point in the second half. They're outgained 224-54 in that first half. Tua goes just 12-22 for 93 yards, 1 TD. They finished with just 145 yards of offense, 3 yards per play. The Rams ran 92 plays to the Dolphins' 48. Tagovailoa, his offense got 8 first downs. The Rams held the ball for 13 more minutes. Dolphins score on a 78-yard fumble return, an 88-yard punt return. The Dolphins have outscored their opponents 95-34 in the past 3 games. They're over 500 for the first time in 23 games under Flores. And they're a really healthy group. They got Jamal Perry, their cornerback, linebacker Landon Roberts, and running back Patrick Laird are all questionable this week. But they're a really healthy group. Bebsy, what do you think of the Dolphins? What do you think of Tua's first start?
Look, the Dolphins' defense has been impressive, and they're keeping them in games. They're winning them games. I like the Dolphins' defense. Tua, at least in week 1, or in his first game, rather, he looked like an Alabama quarterback to me. He looked like a guy who is surrounded by studs in college, incredible protection in Bama on that offensive line. Like, this is a guy who had the luxury of throwing to Jerry Jeudy, Henry Ruggs, and Waddell at the same time. He had all 3 of those guys. He did not impress me at all in week 1. The Dolphins won in spite of Tua. So I'm not too high on him yet. It's his first game. I'm not gonna formulate my forever opinion on him right now, but I wasn't impressed. He looked like a Bama product. Let's not forget the last star quarterback to come out of Alabama was Joe Namath. Like they have not, or Bart Starr. Those are the last great Bama quarterbacks. Like that's how bad they're almost as bad as Ohio State. And maybe Justin Fields will change that. So I wasn't impressed with Tua at all. I know it was 1 game. I know he had to face Aaron Donald. I said that would be problematic, but I'm not too keen on watching him play.
I'm keen on watching him play because I want to make money off of it, and I think that we have to back Arizona here. The issue is that they're favored right in that tricky spot, between 4 and 7. They open up at -5. The leading indicator books have moved it to 4.5. And my only move on the Cardinals would be to wait. Just hope that these other punters are going to sit and think about that, or the lazy cappers or the tourists are going to sit there and look at the score only at 28-17 and push this down. That's the only thing I can think of. Cardinals are coming up their bye week. Now, look, this Cardinals defense is tricky. They lose Chandler Jones for the year. Devin Kennard does not look good. Isaiah Simmons has been pretty much non-entity for an 8th overall pick until
he's had one big play this year for all the hype that's been around him.
Yeah.
So I'm not counting him out, but remember, I said this before the season started. I said players like him who kind of line up all over the field in college have trouble really adjusting. I think he's not quite big enough to be a thumper now, and the linebacker position has changed, and I do believe he'll be great, but I said at the start of the year it'll be a while before his impact is felt if he really makes that next step. So I'm not super excited about the play either. I'm with you. I think, maybe if this gets bet down a little bit, sit back and wait on Arizona, but I'm off this game.
Dennis Garcia talking about the under here, 47.5, now at 48. My only concern is, okay, I ask you this, Bebsy, if we're going to back the Cardinals, we have to trust their defense. And I know that they've had players step up in the absence of Chandler Jones, but I don't know if I trust them. Do you trust this Cardinals defense to get the job done? We have Jordan Hicks and Jordan Phillips, a linebacker and defensive lineman, questionable. Kenyon Drake is out, by the way. So that foot injury that we saw him have, he's not playing this week. So that's
I still think Chase Edmonds looked fantastic coming in. I think they'll be fine with him there. You're right. It's the defense you worry about. But until I see Tua light somebody up, then I'm not going to get too excited about him carving up a defense, even the one like Arizona's that I don't really trust. Now, I want to be clear, too. I like Tua Tagovailoa. I want him to do well. I don't want people to think I'm trashing him. I'm trashing Bama's quarterbacks as a whole, not him. I want him to do well. I don't know if we're going to see it. And until I do, I can't get excited about it.
And by the way, our Nutflush Allen's been eating off these Murray rushing props. So just a quick, before we move on, let's move on. But against the Seahawks, their third straight win for the Cardinals, Kyler Murray throws for 360 yards, 3 touchdowns, runs for 67 yards. So he's on pace to throw for 4,222 yards and run for 999 yards this season. And no quarterback in NFL history has topped 4,000 yards passing and 1,000 yards rushing. So he's exceeded my expectations. Would you say Kyler Murray's exceeded your expectations, or do you expect him to be this good?
I was high on Kyler Murray. I think aside from his height, there's no real knock on him. Throws a beautiful ball. He throws extremely well on the run. He also is very good at not getting hit. He knows when to slide. He knows when to dip out of bounds. Yeah, Kyler Murray is going to be a problem in this league for a long time, and especially with the weapons this guy has. This guy has, obviously, DeAndre Hopkins, who, in my opinion, there's nobody I'd rather have at receiver in the league right now. There's arguments to be made there. I'm not going to get into it. He's my personal favorite wide receiver in the NFL. Can't believe Bill O'Brien gave him up for nothing. And then he's got, Larry Fitzgerald. He's got the vet there. He's got Christian Kirk, who's obviously a very talented receiver. And then he's got a great deep threat in Andy Isabella. So he also has a ton of weapons that are helping him out. But, yeah, I'm high on Murray. I think the guy is going to be a fantastic player.
Bled's W on the first half spot here for the Cardinals. I think that's a great idea. Be curious, is it – I don't want to get too excited about what the number is going to be. Let me see it. Wow, you can get a 3. That's a must bet. That's an absolute must bet. Bled's W God, my man Bled's always coming with the heat. I want that first half. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think the first half is the best look on this game. And shout out to Bleds. I'm going to bet that first half. Is there a spot for you here on this game, Bebsy?
There's no spot for me here. I can't decide one way or another which team I like here.